Hello, I'm Bob Bolson, Director of Solutions Architecture for Imagine Communications. Today, I'd like to talk to you about Versio Control. Master control environments provide more challenges today than ever before. Fewer operators are responsible for more channels. Live events require nimble, flexible UIs. Channels must be quickly ganged and unganged during the course of daily operations. Quote-unquote standard master control interfaces cannot adapt to all of these different workflows, especially hardware-based master control interfaces, which feature fixed feature sets and operational functionality. While HTML5-based soft panels do a better job in terms of flexibility, they still often require weeks or months of R&D time to implement customer-requested changes to user interface functionality. To that end, Imagine Communications is proud to present Versio Control. Versio Control is a fully customizable, highly flexible web-based graphical user interface, enabling users to build unique, contextual-driven control and monitoring workspaces through a library of functional widgets. Versio Control is not simply a button builder UI. Our widgets are uniquely designed by our user experience team to ensure optimal usability and operational simplicity, providing mix and match, multi-channel master control, graphics, automation, and monitoring capability, all in a single, unified UI. Let's take a closer look at Versio Control. Let's start with control for a single channel. Often, an operator controlling a channel requires the ability to control source switching via fades or cuts, manual control of multiple layers of graphics, as well as the ability to advance a playlist into and out of breaks. Sometimes even manipulation of on-air audio is required. Versio's stock master control soft panel has you covered for all of these cases. But just as often, an operator only requires a subset of those functions. Sometimes there are also labor restrictions or delineations within the workplace that don't allow an operator to access all of those functions. It quickly became clear that code changes to account for all the different iterations of the master control UI were not a tenable path forward. That realization led to the drag-and-drop, widget-based approach featured in Versio Control. By allowing full customization of the master control interface, the operator gets everything they require and nothing they don't. For instance, some channels require very little interaction, so maybe setting up a now, next, later tally along with some video preview is all the operator would need. Let's go ahead and set that up. You can see via simple drag and drop, I can quickly and easily create an operating environment that gives me exactly what I was after. It should be noted that because these previews are being accessed directly from the Versio playout engines, latency is almost non-existent, even when dealing with compressed formats. This makes Versio Control and Versio Platform as a whole the ideal solution for cloud-based deployments. So you've seen some simple monitoring layouts, but frequently simple monitoring isn't enough. Now I can build on this UI and add in source switching and graphics control, getting me closer to a full master control environment. Again, simple drag and drop gets me my desired results very quickly and very easily. Most widgets provide the ability to customize even further. For instance, while the Versio playout engine provides 10 simultaneous layers of graphics, I may want to leave the first 5 for automation and layers 6 through 10 for ad hoc firing of graphics through the Versio master control interface. This is easily accomplished using the individual settings for the graphics widget. The flexibility of Versio Control also allows users to go beyond the functions of traditional master control panels and do things like control automation playlists. By dragging in my automation widget, I can advance my playlist into and out of live events, pause my list, and more, in addition to monitoring the list as it plays. One of the most common operational wrinkles facing operators is the ganging of channels, making sure 3, 5, 10, or even more channels all roll into and out of break at the same time, fire graphics at the same time, and more. Versio Control has you covered there as well. Operators can pre-make an infinite number of channel groups and simply add a channel selection widget to their controls. Then the operator can choose to dynamically switch between single channel control or group controls. When in a group mode, firing a graphic will fire a graphic on each of the gang channels, and advancing the list out of a live event and into a break will likewise advance the lists of all the gang's channels. This makes it simple for stations to do more with less, greatly increasing the efficiency of each individual operator. Ganging assumes similar channel types and similar channel requirements for each of the channels in the gang. But what happens when the operator is responsible for several channels, each with their own unique set of workflow requirements? This is where Versio Control's containers come into play. Containers basically give the operator the ability to create multiple smaller master control interfaces within one overall layout. We've looked at a few different types of UIs, ranging from simple monitoring layouts to full-blown master control layouts. Now let's create a workspace that combines both of these elements. By dragging some containers onto my workspace, I can easily make unique workspaces for multiple channels. Let's start with a couple simple monitoring layouts. Beneath that, we'll add a more fully featured master control layout for a third channel. As you can see, I can now individually control and monitor these three channels, all from a single UI, without the clutter of any unnecessary controls or elements. Containers also give me the ability to create identical workspaces for multiple channels. Channels may have similar operational requirements, but do not benefit from the ganging feature as they will all operate independently. In that case, making identical containers for each channel gives the operator exactly the level of control required to efficiently manage multiple channels. Here, a simple tally, preview, and an automation control are all that is required for each channel. Elegant, flexible workspaces designed by the operator remove any frustrations or inefficiencies that come from static interfaces defined solely by the vendor. You've now seen that the number of design permutations afforded by Versio Control are nearly limitless. But how do you manage all the different panels you're sure to create? That's easy too. All your panels can be managed here, including the creation of new panels, the removal of panels no longer in use, and most importantly, adding panels to your favorites bar. The favorites bar appears at the top of the screen, allowing fast access to multiple panels. It is very likely that the panel you use for daytime syndication will vary greatly from the panel you would use for a live sporting event in the evening. Switching between them couldn't be any easier. Simply scroll through your available favorites and select the one you'd like to use. A couple of clicks and you're ready to go for your next event. You can even have multiple different panels open simultaneously on multiple monitors. It should also be noted that everything you've seen can be driven with traditional keyboard and mouse or via a touch panel. Versio Control gives you the power of your own team of programmers. Instead of requesting a change that may or may not make it into a future release, you now have the power to make that change in a matter of minutes. Whether it's removing unused features to achieve maximum efficiency, or simply increasing the size of a frequently used button, Versio Control makes it easy to make your workspace a comfortable one. Versio Control features a robust API, so if there's a widget you'd like to see that isn't available yet, you have the power to create your own. With Versio Control, you're in control.